Just weeks after the tragic events of September 11, 2001, Belmont Park hosted the Breeders' Cup for the third time. Tensions were high early on, but a great day of racing has a funny way of making things better. In the Classic, Tiz Now, trained by Jay Robbins, was looking to become the first horse to win the Classic twice.
Tiz Now fights on! Here's the wire! Desperately close! Tiz Now wins it for America!
Later that fall, New England's Patriots coach Bill Belichick would use the 2001 Classic as a motivational tool for his Patriots, who would go on to win the first of 6 Super Bowls. The 1988 Breeders' Cup Distaff would give the event its first wow moment in its first trip to Churchill Downs. Mother Nature might not have been kind to the home of the Kentucky Derby that day, as rains left the track a muddy mess, but the racing gods made sure the fans would see a stretch run for the ages, matching that year's Kentucky Derby winning filly, winning colors up against the undefeated Personal Ensign.
Personal Ensign, a dramatic finish, and here is the wire, and it is Personal Ensign there!
Personal Ensign remained perfect through 13 starts, becoming the first major American racehorse to retire undefeated in over 8 decades. In 2010, Zenyatta arrived at Churchill Downs a perfect 19 for 19 and looked to become the first horse to win back-to-back classics since Tiz Now nearly a decade earlier. After breaking slowly, Zenyatta looked hopelessly beaten, but she gathered some momentum and was poised for her patented late run. Top older horse Blame led the field past the Twin Spires, but it seemed everyone watching, even track announcer Trevor Denman, was trying to will Zenyatta to the wire first.
Zenyatta is flying, Blame trying to hold on, Blame, and Zenyatta, the Lane has won it.
Despite her defeat in the final race of her 20-race career, Zenyatta would go on to win 2010 Horse of the Year honors. The 1998 Breeders' Cup Mile arguably provided fans with the greatest training job in the history of the sport of kings. The Haas was making his second start in the event over 2 years after taking the 1996 renewal at Woodbine. In the 2 years between, trainer Michael Dickinson raced him just once, 4 weeks prior to that year's Cup, before giving eventual Hall of Famer John Velasquez a leg up at Churchill Downs. The Haas beat the popular John's Call, a horse we have a stakes race named for at Saratoga, in that allowance race between the miles. That mile turned out to be the final start of his remarkable career.
The Haas game as they come, coming down to the line, spine tingling straight back, the Haas comes back!
Beautiful Belmont Park played host to the 1995 Breeders' Cup, and the fans in attendance got to see the old girl a little earlier than usual, as Notre Dame football forced the Breeders' Cup to start in the morning. A muddy main track and boggy turf were also on the menu, but no one was complaining. Inside Information won the Distaff by 13.5 lengths, a record margin of victory for a Breeders' Cup race that still stands to this day. But before the day was over, they'd get to see history.
Here he is, the unconquerable, invincible, unbeatable Cigar!
Cigar won all 10 of his starts in 1995 and over $4.8 million in earnings. He would eventually win 16 in a row, a record matched by the Great Citation, before losing the Breeders' Cup Classic in 1996 at Woodbine and retiring just shy of $10 million in earnings.